Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I want to talk to you guys about the new TAL RASHA'S Iridescent loop that has been added for the Sorc. Basically, the TLDR is this is the best unique for Sorc in my opinion, and I mean the numbers do speak for themselves. You can easily get all these elemental damages for it. It just gives you a massive amount of damage that is multiplicative on top of actually giving you cooldown reduction on a ring, so you can get back close to the old days of having like 40% cooldown reduction if you do get a maxed out roll. It also does come with all res to the ring, so I'm going to cover everything about this ring, and then I actually have another video in the making that I was thinking about doing, like ranking all the uniques of Sorc. Let me know what you guys think of that video, but without further ado, let's just get straight into this one and talk all about the TAL RASHA'S Iridescent loop. So I have added this to pretty much all my builds. Right now, only really running Ball Lightning on my Sorc because I'm trying to min-max it before the Zir Arbiter of Zir thingy comes around. I did make a video recently about getting ready for that. You guys should totally go check it up. Should be up on screen somewhere for you guys or up in the right corner. So go check out that and prepare yourself for Zir coming pretty soon now. I think like 2 to 3 weeks. This ring, look at it. For each type of elemental damage you deal, you gain, well, obviously 10 to 15% depending on your roll. So we're just going to base it off 15% for math's sake. So if you take this thing, for each element you get increased damage for 4 seconds, and then dealing elemental damage refreshes all bonuses. So let me show you guys where the buff is on the bar. You can see it over there. It is damage increase for each elemental attack right there. It's this little one over there. You can see like the 3 little elements, and it keeps ticking up and up. So over there right now we just have lightning, and I believe fire is actually ticking there. So let's add ice to it. So there we've got ice. No, that was actually the poison. So we've got fire, ice, and poison right now. And then if we activate our flame shield, we walk through it, and now it has 4. So we have all 4 elements, so we should be getting a massive damage boost. And to refresh it, you don't need to do any of the other elements. You just do one element. Any elemental damage will refresh the buff, so it's going to constantly stay up. So in saying that, it's pretty easy to get these 4 different elements on Sorc, being fire with your flame shield, because it does do damage. You can just walk through them. I can demonstrate that for you guys, so we'll just walk straight through it. There we have 2 again. And the second one that keeps popping up without me doing anything else is because of a vampire season power, what is called, I think it's Pox or something like that. Where is it? Infection. Hitting enemies with direct damage infects them with Pox. Inflicting Pox 8 times on enemy expunges the effect, dealing poison damage. So that is how we are actually getting poison damage as well on a Sorc, because there is no other way to actually get poison damage on a Sorc. And then obviously the main 3 things you can get on a Sorc is lightning, fire, and cold. Pretty easy because we have so many skills that can do those things, but we can't actually access poison or shadow damage. Which if we could actually get shadow damage, we can actually get this up to 75% damage increase because we can have 5 different elements. But as of right now, there's no way that I know of, maybe you guys do, of how to get shadow damage to proc on a Sorc. But thanks to the vampiric powers, we can actually get poison. So that is one thing you do need to keep in mind. You probably want to start checking on poison on all your Sorc builds. Just to proc this, I mean, just putting that in there is giving us 15% damage all the time. Whereas the old one I used to have, I believe it was Domination, you deal 24% increased damage to enemies who are stunned, immobilized, frozen, or feared. So in our build would be the stun version, but stun doesn't always work. Like on bosses, for example, you can't stun. Well, actually, when they do get stunned is like when their bar fills up, but you normally kill them before that anyway when you're farming nightmare dungeons, things like that. So this is a 24% situational damage boost, whereas this over here is a 15% damage boost, obviously going off of a max roll on the ring. So looking at least 10 to 15% damage, and you don't have to do anything for it. It's automatic. Just chuck it on and then you'll just get it straight away. See, like pretty much anything I do just procs 2 of them like just about right away. There, took a little second, but there we go. We got 2 again, and all I casted was Ball Lightning, hit our flame shield and our ice blades, and there we go 4. So now let's talk about skills that can actually proc all these different elements. We did cover the poison one there, and then obviously we are using flame shield. Another way to get flame is to put firebolt in your enchantments. Very easy, and I would actually suggest it. I would drop the teleport on my Ball Lightning build. I'm going to update it soon, but I'm kind of waiting for Zir to actually come out, the Great Rift thingy, before I change my build around, because I like how tanky it is right now, and I don't actually need more damage, but I can potentially get a lot more damage if I change up my build a little bit by putting Firebolt down in our teleport enchantment. Pretty much all direct damage you deal will then apply burning to them, so that's another way you can apply burning quite easily. Just put that in your enchantment thingy. And you can also take advantage of these burning passives over here, like Inner Flames and Devouring Blaze, giving you crit strike damage. So that's an easy way to get a ton more damage, which we'll probably end up doing if we do need it for Zir. Otherwise, I'm going to stick with my super tankiness. So where were we? So that is our methods of easy ways of getting fire. Obviously with Flame Shield, this is pretty much going to be used in every single Sorc build. Just walk through them or just be near enemies, and obviously you will burn them over there for that damage of a second. And you only need to apply this once. As long as you do any kind of elemental damage afterwards, or while you're walking like from pack to pack, hit them with your ball lightnings or ice shards, whatever kind of Sorc you're playing, you'll just maintain that buff all the time. And then fire, other things, meteor is very specific, Hydra again, specific, firewalls also very specific, so those are not easy methods. Incinerate, nobody uses Incinerate, unfortunately. Fireball I don't think it works off of the AoE because they die, so they don't really have any, well, I guess they do die to fire damage, so it could actually work as well while you're leveling up. Maybe put Fireball in one of your enchantment slots. So Firebolt, Flame Shield being the one that I'm using for my fire proc. And now let's go over how to proc ice. So obviously Ice Armor doesn't do any kind of ice damage, and then unfortunately Frost Nova also does not do any kind of ice damage, because you do need to do a form of damage in that element to actually get it to work. I was hoping Frost Nova would work, but it doesn't because it does no damage. So the next easiest thing is to actually have Ice Blades. Now I have put 3 points into Ice Blades, obviously the 1 point to unlock it, and then 2 points to get down to the next one of there. 20% of Enhanced Ice Blades cooldown reduction is applied to your other skills, and since I like to run with low cooldowns, I pretty much got cooldown reduction on every skill that I can, every piece of armor. And then obviously with the ring also giving us cooldown reduction, I really like that. You don't need to put it, just 1 point in Ice Blades is more than enough. You don't need to put it in there. So what I did to change my build up in the skill tree, if you guys are following my ball lightning build, I'll have it all linked down below in the description. I took out the 2 points of the chain lightning over here. When chain lightning critically strikes, it gives you crackling energy. As I don't really ever seem to run out of mana, so I'm pretty good on mana. That was only really there to give you more crackling energies, to then give you more mana, but I'm pretty good on that. So I took out these 2 points and then I put them in over there. And then the other point that I took out was the 1 point in Potent Warding. In my build guide I said these 2 points are very optional, Potent Warding and Elemental Attunement. You can really do whatever you want with them, although that is really nice to have in there just for a little chance at resetting your defensive skills. So I took the 1 point out of that, as I do have my resistances all maxed out now. And then I took out the 2 points there and put them into my Ice Blades for the little cooldown over there, because it does apply to all of your other skills. And we have a lot of cooldown. We got cooldown there, we got cooldown there, we got cooldown on the TAL RASHA'S ring. And where else do we have it? Thing on the Augiesaint, yeah, cooldown over there. So 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 sources of cooldown. We've got close to 40% cooldown reduction. So our skills are up all the time. And as well, with all that cooldown, your Ice Blades, you can actually then go ahead and proc another passive on your, where is it? Conjuration Mastery. This one, if you have for all your conjurations up, you do increased damage. So you can just have a ton of Ice Blades up and everything else, as well as when you proc your Unstable Currents, because of all the cooldown reduction, you're going to have more conjuration stuff. So it's just a whole loop of crazy amounts of damage, and it's really satisfying. So that's the easiest way to apply frost damage, I would say Ice Blades. Otherwise, the other option is you could have Blizzard, but then you have to manually cast it yourself, so just put 1 point in there. Or you could even just take 1 point in Frostbolt, because we all know when you are leveling up, you don't really use any of your basics on most Sorc builds. Just put 1 point in Frostbolt, and you'd have to put that on your bar, and then just randomly hit an enemy with Frostbolt to proc your ice, and then just go about your day with whatever you're using, Ball Lightning or Firewall or whatever like that. So we covered fire, we covered frost. Now for lightning, obviously chain lightning, if you are using a chain lightning build, it's going to be the easiest way to proc it, or then ball lightning again if you are doing a ball lightning build. Again, very easy way to proc it. Those are only the real 2 ways to proc it. Otherwise, like before, just pick up one of the basics. The basics pretty much cover everything, so you can either pick up Spark or Arc Lash, depending on your build, if you are ranged or melee. Just hit one enemy with it, and there you go. You can even use Charge Bolts if you use that in your build, or Lightning Spear. This is John Doe's Spear, I like to call it, from the Avengers. It's a really fun skill. I wish I could implement it into the build, but I just don't find space for it. But there's a lot of ways to apply lightning, but most of the time, I believe only ball lightning and chain lightning is like the only real good lightning build. If you're not playing those, then however, putting chain lightning would obviously form the chain lightning, but you lose out a whole enchantment slot. So I would say the best thing to do if you are playing a frost build or a fire build on Sorc, and you're not actually playing one of the lightning builds, to get your lightning proc, I would just pick up Arc Lash or Spark in your basic, hit one enemy with it, and there you go, you have your lightning over there procced and ready. And that is pretty much all the things I can cover for you guys. We got lightning, we got frost and fire, and then the other one is obviously doing poison with the vampire power. So It's a little bit of a different video. Let me know what you guys think of the idea of doing a unique video for Sorc, like ranking them as what I think is the most powerful. Obviously, in my opinion, I do believe the TAL RASHA'S ring is the most powerful. I have tested it with some other aspects. I took it off and then I put on the conceded aspect as well as the accelerating aspect to boost your ball lightning, as ball lightning does scale off of your attack speed. And with all my testing, the TAL RASHA'S has always been just better. Easy way that I found to test, because once you get in here and you start spamming like this, it's really hard to see the numbers. As you can see the numbers over there, I just look down below at my ball lightning and I get this to like 70. You see it was 70 to 80,000 was the highest proc that I saw there. So come walk in and you see there's 60 to 70. So you just need to sit here, spin a little bit, spin, do a damage, and then look at what it's at. And then on these other two aspects, if I switched out the ring like that, then they wouldn't even come close to that damage. 60 to 80,000 would be at least like 30 to 40,000 is what I got with the other two aspects. So that's another way to just check it. But I mean, it's simple math. So 15% times 4, because you have 4 different elements. So that is going to be 60% increased damage. And then if you can get a 5th element like Shadow, it will be 75% increased damage, which none of these even come close. So you basically only need to get 2 elements to be better than any of these aspects. Only with the primal gauntlets, I believe it's the primal aspect. This again is a situational aspect and it's only going up to 35%. So with 2 of these on a max roll, you pretty much almost have this, and it's not situational on the TAL RASHA'S. That's why I believe TAL RASH #1. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer.